See children, so in this lesson we have grammar part. Grammar part we have defining and non-defining relative clauses. Defining and non-defining relative clauses. So first I am writing that defining and non-defining relative clauses. So what are these? First of all, one by one word. Defining, non-defining, we don't know. I hope so already you have heard relative clauses. First of all, clause you know. Main clause, subordinate clause, like this. Clauses we know. Set of words give some meaning, right ma? Clauses. Relative clauses. Relative clauses means those are related to preceded or followed words. Mostly preceded. So one word. So for this related, if we get it, so this is called relative clause. This is telling about this one. So that's why this is a word and relative clause. About it, it is telling means relative clause. So here one word and about it some more words we get it. Subject and predicate, like this we get it. Okay, Nana. So now here in this relative clauses divided into two types, defining and non-defining. So what are these defining and non-defining clauses? First I'll give one example. Based on that one by one we can see. So see that first one ma. Of course, first I am discussing textual sentence only and later I will give some more general examples also. Okay ma. So now see, the woman who taught him surfing, who taught him surfing had been bitten by a shark. Had been bitten by a shark. Bitten by a shark. So here they underline who taught him surfing. Okay, and second one, Nick, who was teased and bullied, had an electric wheelchair for mobility. So these are the two sentences mainly we have. So what to do with this? First one, see this. Here defining and non-defining relative clause. Here these are, yes, here if we take it, this is relative clause. So this is also relative clause, this is telling about it. This is also relative clause, this is telling about this person, right? So in these two sentences, if you observe slight changes, what are these? See here, the woman who taught him surfing had been bitten by a shark. Here additional means almost looking same, but here we got commas. So by getting the commas, how the meaning changed? Only same sentence also I'll tell you. See this one. The woman who taught him surfing had been bitten by a shark. So that means who taught surfing? That woman was bitten by a shark. The same woman. Okay, only one woman. Okay, so this is about this woman, that is defining, that this total part is defining this person, the woman. So that's why this sentence is called defining relative clause. This is called defining relative clause. Okay, ma? So the sentence is telling about that person. So it's a continuation, only one woman. That woman was taught him surfing, and she had been bitten by a shark also. So it is total definition. It is defining the woman, how the woman was and what she did it. Everything is explaining about woman. Of course, looking here also explaining about this person. But how is it? Nick, who was teased and bullied. By getting the commas, now it is not defining, it is giving information about this person. That is the variation. Suppose if we don't have commas here, yes, Nick, who was teased and bullied, has an electric wheelchair for mobility. This, if we get it, yes, it is also defining about Nick. Then it is defining. But here, what did they give? Nick and this one. So how the meaning we get it? Nick was teased and bullied, and Nick has an electric wheelchair for mobility. Nick has an electrical wheelchair for mobility. So like this, comma, when we get it, this apply to this one and that apply to the next one also. Okay, that's why this is called non-defining relative class, because it's not defining, it's giving information about the person. So non-defining relative class. Non-defining relative class. Okay, Nana. So it here without commas means it is giving the definition of it, but by getting the commas or hyphen, generally it gives the information of that person, information of that thing. So that's why those are called non-defining relative clauses. Generally, non-defining relative clauses preceded or followed by comma or hyphen. Preceded means before. Preceded. So before this class we have comma. Okay, preceded means before, and followed means later. So after this also we have comma. Either comma or hyphen if we get it. Generally those are giving information but not defining. That's why those are called non-defining relative clauses. Related to this only. That's why relative clause. Okay, then related about this only they say. That's why this is called relative clause. So it is not defining, and if it is giving meaning, I mean explanation, more information, that we call it non-defining. If it is explaining or defining, then it is called defining relative clauses. But it is not defining, but it is giving more information about it, then we call it non-defining relative clauses. Non-defining relative clauses. So one more sentence for this in the non-defining relative clause, in the textbook lesson only we have. What is that? The brave 26-year-old who is mainly a torso, I told you na, torso means who has no head, arms and legs. So those we call it torso. So plays football and golf, swims and surfs. So here you see, here this is about a brave 26 years old. What is he doing? Who is mainly a torso. So here hyphens none actually, who is mainly a torso and plays football and golf. So a brave 26 years old, this is age means we write like this Nana, this is not related to defining or non-defining. Generally age when we write it, we should write like this hyphenated words. Okay, so the brave 26 years old is mainly a torso. The brave 26 years old plays football and golf, swims and surfs. So this is related to this one and this is related to this one. So these two clauses are giving the information about 26 years old boy. Okay, of course here also it is showing, giving the information. But here only one person defining how the girl was. So there is no commas to define it, to give the information. So that's why it is defining that particular one only. That's why we should take it as defining relative clause. But here by separating them with the commas or hyphens, this is giving just information about that particular person or thing. That's why this is called non-defining relative clause. Non-defining relative clause. Understood ma? So shall I give some more examples on this, then you will get more clarity? Very good. So first note down this one and then I'll give some more examples. See children, so one more example I'll explain the same sentence, defining, non-defining relative clause, both I'll tell you. So see that, my brother who is a software engineer, that is my brother who is a software engineer has gone to USA. So this is one sentence. Same sentence I am writing, my brother who is a software engineer has gone to USA. So here two sentences if you see. In these two sentences, my brother who is a software engineer has gone to USA. That means my brother, so only one. That person only went, that is who is a software engineer. Who is software engineer. That brother went to USA, right? Has gone to USA. Here my brother, he is a software engineer and he has gone to USA. So like this we have here, this is completely telling the defining this person, what is his qualities. And here in this sentence by giving the commas, this is giving the information about this person. This is giving information about this person. I think so all of you understood this. Here both sentences are looking same. But how can we divide it? Either it is a definition or it is giving information. So here without commas when we get it, completely these words are defining this person. But here when we get the commas, yes, this is separate and about this person some information we are gathering, we are getting. So that's why this is called non-defining relative clause. Non-defining relative clause. Simple logic here, if you have any commas or hyphens before or later, that is 100% non-defining relative clause. If there are no commas like this, then those are defining relative clause. When it is a defining, we don't use commas ma. If it is when it is defining, we don't use. If it is not defining, that means giving some information about it, gathering, and we are writing. Commas we are using means compulsory, it's a phrases. We are gathering information and we are writing in the phrases means nothing but information. So that's why it's not defining the subject. So that's why it is called non-defining relative clause. Okay, ma. So can you find the examples, the same kind of defining and non-defining sentences in the given lesson? Attitude is altitude. So in that, so many words we have, so many sentences, very good quotations they have given. At the same time, defining and non-defining clauses also they have given. Okay, so let's find what are the defining and non-defining relative clauses from our lesson. Okay, Nana? So let's open the textbook. See children, so for the defining and non-defining, they have given some examples. Na? So what is that? First Roman C. Read the text again and identify some more defining and non-defining relative clauses. So once again you read the textbook and find defining and non-defining relative clauses. So that means it should define something. Without commas means that is defining, and it is giving information by using the commas or hyphens. Those are called non-defining sentences, non-defining relative clauses. Okay, ma. So now see that one. First sentence I am telling, Nick has a small foot on his left hip. Nick has a small foot. First page only you have see that, Nana. Nick has a small foot on his left hip, which helps him balance and enables him. So which helps him balance and enables him. So general relative clauses means which, what, who, like this we get it, na? So here the which helps him, so it's a relative clause. So this is telling about Nick, and Nick what he has a small foot like this. About the Nick, defining Nick, how he was. Nick has a small foot on his left hip, and which helps him balance and enables him to kick. So enables him to kick. So any pebbles to kick it or to do any kind of work. So for that this foot is helping him a lot. Na? So this is defining Nick. So that's why this sentence is nothing but. Very good. So defining relative clause. And one more tip we have to find it defining. Yes, there are no commas or hyphens. Okay, see the next one, ma, I am telling. Nick, next the same page only, 4th or 5th paragraph you see. Nick, comma, who was born in Melbourne, comma, Australia, now lives in Los Angeles. It's not describing, it is giving the information about Nick. So where he was born and which place it is, and now where is he living. Information about that person. So that's why this is very good. Non-defining relative clause. Non-defining relative clause. Easily how can we find? Yes, commas and hyphens we have. Commas we have. And see the next one, Anna. His mom invented a special plastic device that meant he could hold a pen and pencil. So his mom invented. So next page you have, Anna. His mom invented a special plastic device that meant he could hold a pen and pencil. So what she invented, that is a describing, defining it. So that's why it is called defining relative clause. So that meant he could hold a pen and pencil. So what it is defining, that is that the device, a special plastic device. So it is defining. That's why here it is defining relative clause. And see the next one. When I was 13, I read a newspaper. In the next page you have. When I was 13, comma, I read a newspaper article about a disabled man and who had managed to achieve great things and help others. Here see, that is, he is not, commas means here, I read a newspaper article when I was 13. I am 13 years old at that time. For that purpose they used, but not of giving information. Are we getting any information about his 13 years of old? No. So at that time what happened? He is defining. That is a newspaper article about a disabled man who had managed to achieve great things and help others. Who had managed great things and help others? Who is that? Yes, disabled man. So it is defining that disabled man. That's why it is called defining relative clause. Relative clause means just before that, na? That's why. And next one, ma. See the next sentence. Nick's parents made a decision which may have been the best one they could have made for him. So Nick's parents made a decision. So they have taken one decision. What is that? Which may have been the best one they could have made for him. So the best one they have taken. What is that? A decision. It is defining a decision. It's the best one. So that's why it is also defining relative clause. It is also defining relative clause. Understood these are? So these four, and see the next one ma. Next one. So the first one they have given from the lesson maximum 5. They have given the 5 sentences, means that 5 we can write it. So next sentence, in that only next part, Roman number 2 nana. Roman number 2. What do we have in the Roman number 2? Complete the sentences with defining or non-defining relative clauses. Complete the sentences with defining or non-defining relative clauses. So here half of the sentence or some part they have given, and remaining they have given rest part they gave blank. So that blanks we should fill it with the defining or non-defining relative clauses. Okay, let's see how those are, which are suitable and what we can write it. So I'll tell you the answers. These are general sentences. You try it and I also will tell the answers. See that ma? This is the peaceful place. This is the peaceful place. So very quiet place means obviously it is away from the city, right? Yes, this is the peaceful place which is away from noise of city, noisy city life, which is away from noisy city life. Yes, it's a very peaceful means 100% it is away from the city only. Away from the city, because in the city we get too much of noisy, right? So this is the a peaceful place which is away from noisy city life. So write that answer nana, which is away from noisy city life, which is away from noisy city life. Okay nana, have you written? This is the peaceful place which is away from noisy city life, which is away from noisy city life. Okay nana. Next one, see the second sentence. The Mahaprasthanam is a popular book. The Mahaprasthanam is a popular book which was written by Sri Sri. Mahaprasthanam, not Mahabharatam. So the Mahaprasthanam is a popular book. Yes. Defining or non-defining means what can we write? Defining sentence which was written by Sri Sri, which was written by Sri Sri, right ma? And see the next sentence nana. Suresh, dash has left the school just now. So comma has left the school just now. So commas we get it means 100%. Yes, Suresh has just left the school now. Who is Suresh? Yes, that non-defining here. We are giving information. Suresh, yes, who is my best friend, has left the school just now. He is my best friend. So I am giving information about Suresh. So it's not defining Suresh. My best friend, I am giving information. So that's why in that blank what can you write? Who is my best friend? Who is my best friend has left the school just now. So this sentence is, yes, very good. Non-defining relative clause. First two defining relative clauses. Nana. Next one ma. Is this the street dash? Is this the street which you call King Koti? Which you call JNTU? Right? Or else any special name, that's any particular place, particular road if we have, that you can write it. So I am giving here King Koti. Is this the street which you call King Koti? Which you call King Koti. So it is describing this street. So that's why defining relative clause. Is this street the street which you call King Koti? Which you call King Koti? Question mark. It's a question. Is this? So it's a question. Next one must see the express which stated from Delhi yesterday has just arrived. So the express has just arrived. The express started from Delhi yesterday. Both we can write it. So this is giving information about express. So that's why it is, yes, in non-defining relative clause. Keep the commas now. The express comma which started from Delhi yesterday, which started from Delhi yesterday, comma, has just arrived, has just arrived. So the express, about the express we are getting information. Yesterday it was started and now it has arrived, it has arrived just now. So that's why it is giving information. This is called non-defining. It's not describing, it's not defining, it's giving information. That's why non-defining relative class. So what is that answer, ma? The express, comma, which started from Delhi yesterday, which started from Delhi yesterday, comma, has just arrived, has just arrived. Okay, Nana? So these are the 5 sentences they have given to fill it like defining or non-defining relative clauses. So 2 we got it non-defining and remaining 3 we got it defining relative clauses. Okay, Nana? Understood all of you? Yes. So complete these answers and tell you the next grammar part. See, Nana, so the next one we have in the grammar part only paper 1 and paper 2. 2 papers you have in 10th class. So in the paper 1 and paper 2, both papers we get one more topic, discourses, Nana. So discourses. In the paper 1 and paper 2, both places we get it, discourses. So these discourses in the paper 1, some topics we get it, in the paper 2, some topics we get it. So first one I am telling for paper 1, whatever the under the discourses, what do we get it? So in the paper 1 and paper 2 both, these discourses are divided into 2 ways. Those are major discourses and minor discourses. Major discourses and minor discourses. So under the major discourses, some topics you get it, ma. Under the minor discourses, very few topics. Major discourses weightage is 10 marks, Nana. 10 marks. And minor discourses just 5 marks. Of course, 5 marks also valuable, na? So what are the topics we get it under the major discourses and minor discourses? Same. First for the major discourses, story or narrative. Story or narration. Narrative. So the narration of something or else story writing. They give some hints and you should write the story on that. So that is one part. And another one, conversation. Conversations, all of you know, conversations means they give a topic and both persons' dialogues, you only should write it. So conversation and description. So description, they are something that you should describe it completely. Description. And the next one, drama script or play. Drama script or play. So this is also like the conversation. That skits, how do you prepare? So like that you should write it. And one more is interview. Interview and choreography. Interview and choreography. Okay, so these are the major discourses in the part 2, paper 1. In the paper 1, major discourses are story or narration, and that's a conversation, description, drama and drama script or play, description, drama script or play, interview and choreography. On these topics, any two they will ask you, Nana. Okay, that is the internal choice you have. This is for 10 marks. And minor, only one they will give. So this is for 5 marks. That is message oriented. It is actually message oriented, message, and one more is notice and diary. Notice board, what to write it, and diary entry, like this you have, na. So that you should write it, ma. Diary entry you will get it already, you know, diary entry and notice board, or what to prepare, message to prepare, you know, some topic if they give it, how to write it on that. Already 7th, 8th, 9th classes you got it. Again you have this year also. Okay, Nana. So in the paper 1, major discourses are story or narrative, conversation or description, drama, script or play, interview and choreography. These are major. Minor one is a message or notice and diary entry. These topics we have, Nana. So I'll explain the paper 2 what do we have. See the discourses in the paper 2 ma. Paper 1 some topics we get it na. Same like that in the paper 2 also discourses we have major and minor discourses. Major discourses and minor discourses and same weightage. Major discourses for 10 marks and minor discourses for 5 marks only. So what do we have in the major discourses? In this especially you will get biography. One is a biography. So then you understood why I am telling these discourses. Yes, in the first lesson they have given biographical sketch. So now biography we get it in the discourses now. So one is biography and another one is essay writing. And one more is letter writing. And one more is news report or newspaper and report writing or news report. Both we call it same. News report or report writing. So for the newspaper reports we write na. So newspaper report, how do we prepare, so on so place and everything, how we should write it on the concerned topic. So either report writing or newspaper report, news report. And one more is script. So this script is speech na. In the script method you should write it. Speech. The script. Speech ma. So next one is a speech. So that is a script formation. That is a dialogues like this we should write it. So total description, total story we should write in the dialogues way. So very important one, biography or letter or reports. So these are very important and essay, speech also they give it. Out of 5 any 2 they will give. Okay, this is also internal choice. And next one, minor ma. Minor. So minor discourses what do we have? That is poster writing, invitation preparation you know na already, and profile preparation. So these topics for 5 marks. So from these 3 topics any one for 5 marks in the paper 2 minor discoursement, and these are major discourses and this is minor discourse. So from these topics 2 you will get, and from this that is a 1. This is for 10 marks and this is for 5 marks. So these topics we should prepare. So how to write it? So just some topic if they give it that related that we should write it. Okay. So now in this lesson attitude is altitude we have biography. So how they give and how to write a biographical sketch. Now let us learn about it. Okay Nana. Let's start. Listen students, so the next one in the attitude is altitude we have writing skills. So in the writing skills what do we have? Writing a biographical sketch. So writing a biographical sketch. Biographical sketch. So same word we can take it, no need to give hyphenated word. Biographical sketch. So what is this biographical sketch? See that if we write our life story, okay, if we write our own life story, that is called autobiography. So what is that autobiography, Amma? Autobiography. You have heard these words, autobiography and biography. Autobiography and biography. So autobiography means one writes one's own life story, life history or life story. one writes one's own life history or life story is called autobiography. If we write about our life history, our own life history, our story, that we call it autobiography. Okay. So biography means one writes others' history, others' life history. Others' life history, if we write it, that is called biography. If we write our own life history, is called autobiography. Okay, Nehru, he has written about himself, that is autobiography. He has written about himself. Okay, so that others, if we write about others, other life history, so that we call it biography. Biographical sketch of Abraham Lincoln, biographical sketch of Stephen Hawking, biographical sketch of Sudha Chandran, or else Helen Keller. So we are writing about those people. That's why that is called biography. If a person writes about his life history, total his history only, his or her, that is called autobiography. Okay. Now, why I am telling, understood? Yes. So now we have, that is biographical sketch of Stephen Hawking. So see that some points, major incidents they have given. By seeing this table, we should write into the paragraph. We should convert into the paragraph. Okay, so what are the points here they have given? See, this is about Stephen Hawking, biographical information of Stephen Hawking. So what do we have in this? Points to be covered and details of the person. So what are the points we covered? First we should cover about his date and place of birth. So he was born on 8th January 1942 at Oxford in England. So, and information about the family. So his family information points we should cover. What are those? He is the eldest son of 4 sons, total 4 children, and then that an elder one, and his mother name is Isabel Hawking, and father Frank Hawking, a medical researcher with a specialty in tropical diseases. So, and what are the important events in his life? So that is early academic life. Actually he is recognized as a bright student, but high school years, third from the bottom of his class. See, early age top, but third from the bottom in the high school, and pursuits outside of school, loved board games, or else constructed a computer out of recycled parts at the age of 16 years only. So recycled parts, leftover, these are not useful, like that we leave some parts, either your toys, or else in the childhood days you have played, of course nowadays also you are playing, that is a train or else helicopter or aeroplane, like this some toys you buy. So in that some parts, by taking that, if it is not working, you keep it aside, so you throw it aside, but from that leftover parts he created new things. So like that he constructed a computer also, and solved rudimentary mathematical equations. So very mathematical equations he solved, and he married to Jane Wilde, and his health condition, you know, I told you about the Stephen Hawking in the introduction. So he has suffered from amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, and he researched on black holes, and he's discovered Hawking radiation. And he got the awards, prizes and honors. If we see, Royal Society at the age of 32, fellow of the Royal Society, that he got it at the age of 32, and he got Albert Einstein award, and so the Pius 11 gold medal for science from Pope Paul VI in 1975, and contributions to his field and society, if we see, he contributed the advancement of science and research to the society. Okay, these are the major points we need to cover about his life. So these are the details of this person. By using this, we should write the biographical sketch. So will you write this one? Okay, I'll tell you orally first and then you add these points. Okay, Nana. So I'll read out. So see that. See, ma. So total points we got it, na. So that I am telling in the story. It's a very lengthy story, na. That's why I can see that. So I'll read out. So one by one. First you should keep the title. Biography you are writing means compulsory. Title you should keep it, Nana. So biographical sketch of Stephen Hawking. Biographical sketch of Stephen Hawking. And so see that Stephen Hawking is a great and known scientist of the contemporary world. Yes, he is a great scientist. Na? So that sentence we can write our own. And he was born on 8th January 1942 at Oxford in England. He was the eldest of the 4 sons. His father was Frank Hawking, who was a medical researcher with a specialty in tropical diseases, and his mother was Isabel Hawking. So this is about first paragraph. We can write about his place and birth and his family. Okay, Nana. Second paragraph. Stephen Hawking was recognized as a bright student in his early academic studies, but at high school he stood at the third from the bottom of his class, and he loved board games outside of school. So out of his interest, he constructed a computer out of recycled parts at the age of 16 years only. This total information we got in the given question only, right? So just to keep them in the sentences. He solved rudimentary mathematical equations. Okay, ma. So this is second paragraph about his education and knowledge that we can write. And next one, Hawking married. So later his marital life and how it changes happened, his health, like this you can write. And Hawking was married to Jane Well, and he suffered from amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, but he continued his research in physics on black holes. So he still continued his research, and finally he discovered Hawking radiation, which helped the field of physics. So now it is very helpful in the field of physics. So that his health conditions and what he invented we can. Next we should know about his awards and rewards. So see that Hawking has achieved many things in the field of science in spite of his prolonged illness. Yes, actually in 1963 only the doctor said for this disease, for this illness you may die, you may alive only 2 years, but long years to 1963, but he died in 2018. So how is it? See this. So, and at a mark of his eminence, Professor Hawking was named a fellow of the Royal Society at the age of 32, and later earned the prestigious Albert Einstein Award. And in 1975, Hawking was honored with the Pius XI Gold Medal for Science from Pope Paul VI in 1975. So those they have given in the given information that you can keep it in sentence. He contributed a lot of advancement of science and research. So these points you should get it in the last. So understood, ma? So biographies means first we should write about the life. So birth and there's a birth and when they were and what is that place like this, birthplace like this. And next we should write about their childhood, that is parents and education like this. And next any achievements or any health issues or whatever it is. And last awards and all this. So anything if we get it, based on that we should divide it into 4 to 5 paragraphs. Minimum 3 to maximum 5 paragraphs. We should split the given information and we should write the biographical sketch. Understood, Nana? Got it all of you? So you try your own and I'll give the answer again. Okay, Nana? So write down.